Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Science fiction this hour, an episode of Dimension X going all the way back to June 17th, 1951. This episode is entitled Pebble in the Sky.
Adventures in time and space, transcribed in future tense. Dimension The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction, bring you Dimension X. The civilization of the galaxy spread across 200 million worlds. The black void of space swarmed with the ships of the Empire. But far off the trade routes, almost forgotten, lay the dying planet Earth, a backwater in galactic culture, a place of exile, a pebble in the sky.
I landed on Earth, on the one spot which I would have called civilized. A patch along the desolate heights of the Himalayas that surrounded the palace of the imperial governor of Earth.
Dr. Bell Averdan of Sirius Sector. That's a familiar name.
Perhaps you've seen it in the Galactic Archaeological Journal, my Lord Ennis.
Me? No, I'm a soldier, not a scientist. It was a newspaper article. You gave an interview about your expedition to Earth. I suppose you'll want to start digging. Whatever can you find on this miserable heap of rubble?
I don't consider Earth a miserable heap, my lord. It's absolutely unique in the galaxy.
Unique?
It's the only inhabited planet that is radioactive.
It's a pig pen.
Yes, I know. But this planet is inhabited. Biologists have proven that on a radioactive world, high forms of life cannot develop.
High forms? The rest of the galaxy hates the Earthmen, and they return it with interest.
I don't think you understand. I'm not intolerant of anyone, and that even includes Earthmen. My theory is that life on Earth originated before it was radioactive.
There's a story like that in the Earth lore of the ancients.
I know, I've read it.
Oh? I wouldn't admit that here if I were you, Dr. Averdan. It's forbidden for outsiders to read it. The Earthmen get pretty violent about their religion.
Do you mean the imperial police power here is defective?
It is in case of sacrilege. Well, now, what do you actually want to prove?
That man originated in prehistoric times on Earth before space travel and spread to the other planets.
What? Are you seriously suggesting that at one time Earth was the only inhabited planet? And that man descended from Earthmen?
There's a chance it might be so.
You'll change your mind when you see them, Doctor. I'm not an anti-terrestrial, but as far as I can see, they're lazy and ignorant and generally inferior to us. I'm as liberal as the next man, but it's a fact. Once an Earthman, always an Earthman.
I booked passage to the city of Chica on an Earth line. My fellow passengers seemed ordinary enough, but I was conscious of being alone among Earthmen. I beg your pardon. Could you tell me what's going on there?
Sure. You see that couple? They've been married 40 years. It's their anniversary.
Yes, sir. 40 years. Hey, Mother? It seems like yesterday. Just like yesterday.
Hey, when are you folks scheduled for the 60?
In a month. 16th of November.
Well, I hope you have a nice day for it. My father reached his 60 in a pouring rain. Kept complaining we were getting soaked. So I told him, what are you complaining about, Dad? I've got to come back.
Now, this 60 they're talking about, are they referring to their 60th birthday?
Sure. That's when they put you away. Euthanasia. It's a custom. Can't have people living on. Eats up all the food. That's right, isn't it, Pop?
Yes, sir. Mother's coming with me when I reach the 60. She's not due for a couple of months, but she thinks we might as well go together.
Yeah, that's the spirit. There's many a man living past the 60. Sneaks, stealing the food from the next generation. A guy should go when it's his time.
Yes, but suppose
It's only fair to... Hey, where are you from?
I beg your pardon?
Asking all them questions.
Yes. Who are you? A spy? Where are you from?
I'm Bel Abaddon from Baron, Sirius Sector.
Oh, an outsider, huh?
Come on, we'll go forward. Did you hear that, Mother? An outsider.
I burned with indignation. Earthmen treating me like an outcast. Earthmen. When we landed, I followed my intention of observing the human animal, subspecies Earth, in its native habitat. In this case, a large department store. Perhaps I resembled a floor walker, for a young Earth girl came up to me and asked a question.
Pardon me. It's my father. He's about 5'4". He wears eye lenses. I think he had on a brown coat.
I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anyone.
But they followed me here. I've got to find him.
Are you in trouble, miss?
No. No, it's nothing, really. I'm sorry I bothered you.
Attention. Attention, please.
What's that?
All patrons of the store will kindly leave by the 5th Street exit. This store is being evacuated for radiation fever quarantine.
What's all this about?
They're after me. It isn't really radiation fever at all.
Who's after you?
How am I going to get out of here? They'll be checking registration cards at the door.
Haven't you got one?
Yes, but it has my name on it. I don't know what to do.
Come on.
But you don't even know me.
I don't know anybody here. But you're an interesting species. Person. This way.
Show your own car. Come on, step along. Next. Check. Wait a minute. Hold the check.
Yes, sir.
Stand right there.
Look here, officer.
Are you with her?
Yes, but you'd better find out who I am.
Later. Stand over there. Next. Come on.
What is it now?
The Imperial.
Are you afraid of them?
Of course.
Don't worry about the outsiders, Miss Schecht. I'll handle them.
Oh, no, don't try anything. Don't talk to them at all. Just do what they say. Don't even look at them.
We'll see. Here they are.
All right, now. You, guard.
Yes, sir?
I'm Lieutenant Claudia, Imperial Garrison. Who's got the fever?
If it please your honor.
Not so close, idiot. You might be infected. I'll take over. You, Earthy. What's your name? Speak up, squaw.
Paula Schecht, sir.
Your registration papers?
Here you are, sir.
Thank you. All right, now. Pick them up. Go on.
Say, look here now.
What did you say, Earthy?
If you please, sir. This man has nothing to do with me. I never saw him before.
What did you say?
I don't like the way you treat women. And I'd advise you to improve your manners.
And where have you been brought up, Earthy? Here's lesson number 1.
Why, you...
My arm! Let go! Sergeant, neuronic whip!
Oh, no, no!
Yes, sir.
Oh, you're all right now.
What happened?
They gave you full power and a neuronic whip.
Where are we?
The military base. Oh, you should.
Is that...
Well, Dr. Abaddon, we seem to have had an unpleasant contretemps in this city this afternoon.
Unpleasant? I should put it stronger, Colonel. As a free citizen of the Empire, I had every right to resent such illegal treatment.
I consider the whole incident unfortunate, Doctor. Don't you think it would be best to forget the whole matter?
I think not. I have an appointment in a week with the procurator.
Procurator, huh?
What do you intend doing with Miss Schecht?
What would you suggest, sir? I had...
Free her immediately. And offer her your apologies.
Of course. If the young lady will accept my sincere regrets, I will give the order for your release immediately.
I don't understand. They just turned us loose.
Of course.
You must be very important. I never heard of the outsiders being that polite to an Earthman before.
I'm not an Earthman, Paula.
What?
I'm an archaeologist from the outside.
Oh. Well, then you stood up to the soldiers because you knew it was safe all along. And I thought... Oh, I should have known.
Paula, does my not being an Earthman make me any different from 5 minutes ago?
You might have told me, sir.
If you don't mind, don't call me sir. Don't be like the rest of them.
Like the rest of whom, sir? The rest of the disgusting animals that live on Earth?
Please.
If you'll excuse me, sir, I must leave.
Oh, wait. Paula! Listen to me, Paula!
Nobody's listening. Pebble in the Sky, an episode of Dimension X from June 17th, 1951 on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
You ever make a change and then think, why didn't I do this years ago? Well, that's how people feel about switching to MediShare for their health care, especially now with inflation the way it is. People are very happy with the savings. Most families save about $500 a month when they switch. It's a huge help when prices are going up so fast in so many other areas. And MediShare's customer satisfaction rate is double that of health insurance. It's just a different experience, and people really like that. MediShare is an alternative to health insurance. It's a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills, and it's been going strong for over 25 years. It really is the gold standard, the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. Find out why people love it, find out why they rave about the customer service, and find out how good it feels to save some money right now. They're super easy to talk to. Here's the number, 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE, 833-34-BIBLE.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more of Dimension X, Pebble in the Sky, June 17th, 1951.
I had access to the garrison files, and to satisfy idle curiosity, I indexed Paula Schecht. Her father was a Dr. Mikhail Schecht, biologist. And against his name was a black star with a notation, condemned in absentia. Charge, evading the 60. That was why she was afraid. So I sent a note asking her to meet me in the North Park after dark.
Paula, over here.
Dr. Avidan?
Sit down.
Oh, I want you to understand. I wouldn't have come except...
I understand. I've seen your father's record.
You know about it.
I looked into it, Paula. There doesn't seem to be much that can be done about the 60.
Oh, it isn't that. It's not for my father. It's for the whole galaxy.
What is it?
Earth is going to revolt.
No. All of it?
Oh, don't laugh at me.
Paula, the galaxy has a volume of several million cubic light years. It contains 200 million inhabited planets. Earth has a population of only 20 million. And no resources. What can Earth do?
I don't know, Doctor, but my father does. He's told me that Earth knows a way by which it can wipe out all outside life and... Wait. Listen. Someone coming. Park Patrol. Quick, kiss me. Don't be stupid. Kiss me. They won't suspect anything.
Oh, yes, of course. Paula.
They've gone. It's all right. Now come with me. I'll take you to my father.
Dr. Avidan, this is a pleasure. I have read your articles in the journal. It is hard to get copies. Our neighbors don't care to trade with Earth. It's part of the nearly insoluble problem of anti-terrestrialism.
No one seems to want a solution. Earthmen and outsiders alike?
Oh, no, that is not true. There is a way of preserving our culture and living as equals in a larger society. But the zealots don't think so.
The zealots?
Yes. They rule Earth now. They are a small minority, but they have power. They have plans.
They planned the revolt, Pola told me of?
Yes.
I see. Well, why didn't you report this to the Imperial garrison?
The Society of Earth Ancients have guarded me too well. Besides, they had a hold on me. I am 62. You know the customs of Earth.
The 60 years.
They allowed me to live on. The price was silence about the weapon.
You agreed to this?
I wanted to live.
What is this weapon?
You are aware of Earth's peculiar environment, the radioactivity?
Yes.
Over the years, we Earthmen have built up certain immunities to radiation burns, for one.
But it's a minute difference. I measured it experimentally.
Oh, but, Doctor, human life is not the only form affected by radiation and mutation. There is microscopic life, bacteria, viruses. We have been searching out such a virus, one to which Earthmen have developed a high degree of immunity, but not outsiders.
You mean a particular disease?
Yes, common fever. It is a mild children's disease here, like chickenpox or German measles. But to outsiders, it is radiation fever. Symptoms develop in 2 hours. Lips are so badly affected that the victim cannot talk, and in 2 days, he dies.
They've isolated this virus?
Tons of it in crystalline form.
And they plan to let this loose in the galaxy?
By means of guided missiles. Then frightened refugees will carry the disease across space. Billions will die.
You're sure about this? You have proof?
I worked on the project.
We've got to get to the procurator. I can catch the evening train at... Who is it?
I don't know.
Open up.
There should have been an alarm.
We've got to get out. Is there a back
Open up the
entrance?
door.
No. Don't move. Hands in front of you.
What's the meaning of this? I demand...
Shut up!
I'm a galactic citizen. You've got no right to detain me without legal authority.
I am an Earthman, but I think you'll find I am all the authority needed at this moment, Dr. Abadan. I am Balkus, the High Minister of Earth.
The High Minister? What are you doing?
I always look after distinguished visitors personally.
Abadan does not know anything.
I doubt that, Dr. Shecht. We will proceed now to the Hall of Correction.
You can't do this. When the procurator...
The procurator will hear nothing until it is too late. The guided missiles will be fired tonight at 12. Guard, if they make a false move... Keep them covered, guard.
Right.
Paula, can you scream?
What are you...
There, coming down the street. Imperial Patrol.
Oh, it's no use.
Do what I say. Scream. Go ahead.
Hold it. They're outsiders. You're right. That's the Imperial Patrol.
All right, Earthy. What's going on here?
Good morning, Sergeant.
Sir? Earthy?
You don't understand. I'm Balkus, the Lord High Minister of Earth.
Listen, Earthy, I don't care who you are. What's going on?
Yes, sir. We've arrested these people.
What charge?
Blasphemy.
All right, get moving.
Thank you.
Sergeant,
What do you want, Earthy?
I'm a galactic citizen. I demand the right...
You?
May we proceed, sir?
Listen, Sergeant. I've something more to say to you.
What?
This.
No Earthy's going to get away with this.
Get a squad car. But, Sergeant, I'm the Lord Minister of Earth.
Tell him about it at the Imperial Barracks. Now move, all of you, before I give you a shot of the whip.
I tell you, I'm a citizen of the Empire.
Listen.
I can prove it. You'll get into a lot of trouble if you don't believe me.
I'll admit no earthly would dare spit in my face.
It was the only way I could get to the garrison. I insist on seeing the officer of the day.
I sent for him. You better have a good story. Attention!
That easy. Which one of you claims he's a citizen of the Empire?
I am.
Bellett's the one from the store.
You, eh? The smart louse that broke my arm. Well, well, well.
I've got to see the colonel, Lieutenant.
Now, Dr. Abadan, I could hardly do that unless it's important.
It is important. It's life and death for the galaxy.
Mm-hmm. Come here. Closer. Oh, it's too bad I've got to save you for the colonel.
What?
He'll see you at 5:30, his orders.
You knew all along.
Sure. Come on, Earthy lover.
I'm afraid you're in serious trouble, Dr. Abadan. The man you're accusing is the High Minister for Earth.
I know, but I have proof.
Well?
I can only speak to the procurator. You've got to contact him.
There are channels, Dr. Abadan.
We haven't time for channels.
Red tape. Always red tape, even in the future. June 17th, 1951, Dimension X on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The conclusion, along with another episode of Claudia, follows these important messages.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of Dimension X, Pebble in the Sky, from June 17th, 1951.
I have the details of the plot from Dr. Schecht. You've got to let me speak to the procurator.
I've already advised him of your arrest. He's flying in. You had better be able to prove what you say. If you don't, we'll have to hand you back to the native authorities and their courts, notoriously savage.
I've called you here with His Excellency, the High Minister for Earth.
My lord, this man is behind the whole plot.
Is he?
There's no time to lose. I've explained to you about the virus. They're shooting off the guided missiles at 12. You've got to take action.
Well, Your Excellency, my lord, if this man has any evidence...
You admitted it this afternoon.
Well, you have no witness to that.
Ask Dr. Schecht. He worked on the virus.
I wouldn't say that Schecht lied, my lord, but he is a criminal wanted for evading the 60, and some men will invent any story to avoid death.
The deadline is midnight. You've got to bomb those temples where the launching sites are.
Perhaps I can explain. According to my information, Dr. Abadan seems to have succumbed to a certain Earth girl, the daughter of the unfortunate Dr. Shet.
Is this true, Abadan?
What has that got to do with it? There isn't any time. You've got to do...
Dr. Abadan, are you in love with that girl?
Yes. Will you listen to
I
me?
don't think we need pursue this any further. Your Excellency, I shall order you released with an apology.
No.
Dr. Abadan, I can hardly believe a degenerate who fraternizes with Earth women.
You scum, you pot-bellied scum.
I warn you, Abadan, you're in trouble enough.
I'm in trouble. You fool, you stupid, blind, bigoted fool. You're destroying the galaxy. You're murdering them all. But before I die, I'll have the pleasure of smashing your fat, oily face in... Let me go. Ah, get the whip.
Belle, are you all right?
Paula. What time is it?
1:30. Past the deadline. It's all over. Lord Ennius released the High Minister with an apology.
Doesn't matter. The Empire can wipe Earth out. It won't save any lives. The virus must have been spread here, too. Earthmen are immune, but outsiders...
Belle, you're an outsider.
Yes,
Oh,
I am. We're paying, Paula. The rest of us. Paying for centuries of intolerance.
oh, Belle.
Look out there. Through the bars. The night sky. Pinpoints of light. The Empire. Doomed.
Oh, Belle. Belle, don't.
I was just thinking. I came to Earth to prove a theory that man started here. That once in prehistoric times, Earth was the only populated world of the galaxy. It's funny. Now it will be that way again. Man living only on Earth. He'll forget the science, the machinery of the Empire. He'll forget the stars. And there will be only Earth. Alone in the universe. A pebble in the sky.
The children of tomorrow will play with toys. But what will those toys be like? An ordinary clerk in an ordinary job finds a terrifying answer to that question next week as Dimension X brings you Child's Play.
Dimension X is transcribed each week by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of the magazine Astounding Science Fiction. Today, Dimension X has presented Pebble in the Sky, dramatized for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in the cast were Santos Ortega as Abadan and Susan Douglas as Pola. Your host was Norman Rose, music by Burt Berman. Dimension X is produced by William Welch and directed by Edward King.
June 17th, 1951, Dimension X on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just two of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
Now on Classic Radio Theater, another episode of the soap opera Claudia, June 17th, 1948, A Quiet Evening Alone.
And now, Claudia.
Thum, 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 thum.
I'm going to bed, children.
Well, for heaven's sakes, why?
To sleep.
It's only 8 o'clock, Mother.
It's all right then to read.
But it's still light out.
Even better. I'll save electricity.
You two women. We all ought to be millionaires when you consider all the things you save on.
Mama, save your strength and read downstairs with us.
You'll start talking.
Nonsense. Well, I have nothing to say.
Now, you're a witness to that remark, Mother.
I've heard it before. It means nothing.
What are you reading that's so interesting, anyway?
She begins.
You get back to your paper.
Yes, ma'am.
What are you reading, Mama?
I'm on page 42, and it's the third murder. Does that answer your question?
Oh, how can you read that kind of book? I get too scared.
You're a sissy.
And proud of it.
Claudia, I'm going to go upstairs.
I know. Shh, David, no more talking. Mama is hanging by a clue.
Me shush. I haven't opened my...
I'd divorce her, David. Any married judge in the country would say you had grounds.
Ignore her, Mother.
I'm trying to.
Oh, you two, so serious. Aren't you enjoying our solitude?
What solitude?
No company.
Oh, that.
You may not realize it, but this is almost the first evening we have been at home alone all by ourselves in months.
I realize it, all right. I love it.
Honestly, for the last few weeks, our house has seemed like Grand Central Station. I've started feeling like a piece of flypaper.
How very descriptive.
First Jim Varney and Victoria Manners. Then one by one the Killians arrived. Then yesterday all the excitement meeting Julia and Hartley at the boat. Oh, it is a luxury to be just us.
And from now on, we relax because there's nobody left to see us. We can really enjoy our privacy tonight, eh, darling?
You talk like a couple of hermits.
Nice being hermits together, isn't it, David?
Mm-hmm. So nice, I insist upon it.
Let's not ever see anybody else, David. Never.
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 That's why we moved to the country, isn't it?
Oh, is that why?
Mm-hmm. I'm going upstairs.
You're not intruding, Mama.
I know I'm not, but you are on me.
We give her shelter, David, and that's gratitude we get.
Well, you can't expect anything else from a parent, dear.
No, you spend the best years of your life bringing them up, and this is all you get. Insults,
This time I am going upstairs. Good night, both.
David, you have driven her away.
I want to be alone.
Oh.
Well, I hope you enjoy your privacy, hermits.
We'll miss you.
I second that sentiment.
That's good. That's really why I'm leaving you.
Oh, David, it's nice to have roots.
Mm-hmm. Deep roots, like Mama.
The house. A little bit of the world where everything is ours.
And if you want me to keep on loving you, you be quiet, or else I'll follow Mama upstairs.
And I'll follow you.
Shh. Now, that was the newspaper.
Listen to how quiet it is now.
Yes, listen.
Lovely. I bet you Mama's going right to sleep.
I don't blame her.
Would you like to?
No.
Oh. There goes the car now. David, somebody's coming in our driveway.
Probably just to turn around.
Honestly, I think we were a thoroughfare. David, the car stopped.
Nonsense. Just catching its breath.
Nonsense, nothing. Look for yourself. Maybe somebody's lost.
Well, let's act as if we're not at home. Go on with your knitting.
Look, somebody's getting out. It's a chauffeur.
Then it's certainly nobody to see us.
He looks very familiar. I didn't know I knew a chauffeur. But I guess I do. I know this one.
With your nose stuck to the window like a cat out in the rain, how do you expect to pretend we're not at home?
He's opening the car door. David, it's your brother who's getting out.
Hartley?
Yes, and Julia, too. Oh, how sweet of them to drive up when they just got back from England yesterday, isn't it?
Adorable.
Hey, you don't sound pleased.
Oh, of course I'm pleased.
Is it just that tonight you...
Well, Hartley's my favorite brother. I'm happy to see him any night, even when we're alone.
He's your only brother.
Twice the reason for me to be happy to see him. Well, aren't you going to let them in?
Give me a chance, will you? Julia, Hartley, this is such a surprise. Horrible surprise, isn't it, dear? Why do you say that? We're delighted to see you. especially tonight since we haven't got a thing to do. Mama's gone to bed.
With those two very good reasons, I don't feel as badly about it, Lamb.
Well, hello, Julia. My, you look very Parisian and chic.
Well, I do believe that absence makes the heart grow fonder, David. Did you hear David compliment me, Hartley?
I did indeed. And ever since he married Claudia, I've been impressed with his taste in women.
Well, you are brothers.
Oh, Hartley, it's so nice of you to come up here tonight.
Not as nice as your meeting us at the boat yesterday. You have no idea what a difference it made in our homecoming.
Oh, she does have an idea, Hartley. That's why we were there.
Now, come in.
Well, I still think it's dreadful of us to arrive without giving you notice. I wanted to call, but Hartley insisted the surprise was half our coming.
And Hartley's right.
You see, Julia? I told you they'd be pleased.
Claudia's very polite.
Oh, no, she isn't. Not usually.
David, insults aren't necessary.
Hartley, before another word or insult, I think we ought to look at the dining room, don't you?
Yes, good idea. I hope it isn't too small.
Too small for what?
Well, it's not enormous, but it's a good size for eating.
Well, it's right through there on the other side of the hall, Julia.
Was I remembered, Claudia? It was a nice-sized room.
For an old saltbox house it is. We haven't got a thing permanent in it yet, so that and the bay window make it look bigger. Oh, here, let me turn on the lights.
Oh, it is a nice room.
What do you think, Hartley?
Well,
Big enough?
I should think so.
Big enough for what?
In style, it's perfect.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
Wait and see what?
Well, I don't want to wait and see anything.
I love the impatience of the young.
You think it's pretty safe then, Julia?
What is?
Yes. Yes, I think it'll be all right.
David, they're as bad as you are. They're not making sense.
It's a family trait.
Oh.
All right, Claudia, we've seen enough of your dining room.
Is that all you wanted?
That's all.
Oh.
You look disappointed.
No. I'm just confused.
Why confused?
It's nothing, Julia. I'm just silly.
Well, come on, silly. Let's adjourn to the living room.
All right, silly. You mean you're through with the dining room?
Absolutely. Now, Hartley, hand me my pocketbook, would you? It's over there on the windowsill.
Yes, right.
Claudia, stop looking so quizzical, then.
I'm not looking quizzical. I'm looking suspicious.
All right. All right, I'll confess. You have every reason to look suspicious.
I have? Suspicious of what?
Of what? Hardly now she's pulling our leg.
Here's your bag, Julia.
Thank you. I'm sure she's guessed by now, aren't you, Hartley?
I wouldn't attempt to read Claudia's mind.
Right you are. It's hieroglyphics.
If you weren't all so nice, I'd say you were horrid.
All right, Lamb, I'll put you out of your misery. Hartley and I have brought you a gift from England.
You did? How wonderful.
Forgive her, Julia. Claudia is notoriously greedy.
Just honest. I hate people who fuss and pretend they don't like getting presents. Don't you?
Frankly, yes. Though I do it myself. Now, let me look through my purse for it.
Is that where it is?
It's for the dining room.
If it fits.
David, what could possibly be too big for the dining room and still fit in Julia's pocketbook?
You've got me.
Me too.
And you've got a dining room table and 8 chairs. Chippendale.
A what?
I suppose they're inside Hartley's hat.
Not quite.
Here's a photograph of them. They're being shipped.
David, I don't believe a word they're saying, do you?
Not a
Who
word.
gives people a dining room table and 8 chairs?
And
That's ridiculous.
Chippendale.
We do.
To our only brother and his wife.
Oh, Julia. I'm almost afraid to believe you.
Here's the photograph. Well, go on. Look at it.
Oh, they're so beautiful. Our dining room isn't half nice enough for them.
Oh, nonsense.
Well, this is certainly a gift, Julia. You've outdone yourself.
We saw the table and chairs at an auction at Christie's. Both Julia and I felt they looked just like you. We couldn't resist them, and we didn't want to.
Oh, I wish they'd get here.
They will. The week after next.
Week after next?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine having a baby and a dining room table and chairs at the same time. Was anyone ever as lucky and spoiled as I am?
No one.
No one more justly, my dear.
I never had a brother, Hartley, till you. Now I know what I missed. It's not because of your present, either.
We know it isn't.
Well, now, Hartley, I think we'd better let these young people alone.
Leave us alone? What for? We don't want to be alone, do we, David? We have nothing to say to each other.
my wish.
You're both going to spend the night here.
But we didn't come to stay, Claudia.
I insist. You've come all the way up here from New York. You can't just turn around and go right back.
Why not?
Well, it's not hospitable of you.
But, Hartley, we can't just barge in on David and Claudia like this. Claudia's about to have a baby.
That hasn't got anything to do with anything. Besides, we'd feel funny not having any company in the house. We've had company up to our ears for days.
You hear that, Julia?
Julia, coming home isn't coming home unless you have somebody to come home to. Here we are. So please spend the night. And, you've got to see the farm during the day. We haven't bought a car yet.
You haven't?
No.
I'd hope to be drinking fresh farm milk.
Well, you'll stay in spite of it, though. You can imagine you're sitting on your chairs, eating at your table.
I'd love to stay.
I'm glad. You've given me so much. Let me give you this.
Oh, it's against my better judgment.
Better judgment is never right, is it, David?
No, never.
That settles it.
Fine. I'll go out to the car and tell the chauffeur to find himself a place for the night.
Oh, Hartley, I want to tell him to run downtown and pick up a few things for me. I don't know why I let myself be talked into this, but... Claudia, you're sure?
Positive.
Well, will be rather nice waking up in your house, eating in a sunny room, being in a home again. I never thought I'd miss it.
You've been on such a long trip.
Seems long now. Thank you, Lamb, for insisting we stay. Hartley looked pleased for the first time in many weeks. I'll be right back.
Well, it looks like we're not going to be alone again tonight.
Won't Mama be surprised in the morning?
No more surprised than I.
Do you mind terribly, David?
No, of course not. Not many people would have the wisdom to be sorry for Julia and Hartley.
They're so generous. You know, it's funny. In the city, we hardly ever saw anybody. We went to live in the country, so we'd be just the two of us. Here we are, surrounded.
We're a fine couple of hermits.
In a way, we are. The best kind. Because, darling, even with a house full of people, way down deep, I'm all alone with you. And way down deep is where it counts. La 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 la.
Look at the faces of people in the market next time you're stocking up on groceries. Some women take it so hard. Others don't seem to mind waiting, and they go about marketing in an easy but businesslike fashion. Now, if you'd like to join the second group, why not step over to that friendly Coca-Cola cooler and refresh yourself? Getting together the household supplies is a more agreeable task when you shop refreshed.
Tell me, Mr. King, do you think Claudia will be pleased with the table and chairs we're sending to her from England?
I'm sure she will. Pleased as punch, Mr. Norton.
I hope so. Selfishly, I rather like the idea of contributing towards this farm and house. I'm extremely fond of it.
I don't blame you at all.
David and Claudia have the right idea. Get away from the world when you're still young enough to enjoy it.
There are those who wouldn't agree with you that coming to live on an Eastbrook farm is getting away from the world.
Really?
Jared Tucker, for instance. David bought this house from him. Jared has quite a lot to say on that subject.
I'd certainly like to talk it over with him.
Well, why don't you tomorrow morning? He'll be around.
I'll look forward to it then. Goodbye, Mr. King.
Have a good night, Mr. Norton. As I was about to say, every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir. And remember, whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you may be, when you think of refreshment, think of Coca-Cola. For Coca-Cola makes any pause the pause that refreshes. And ice-cold Coca-Cola is everywhere. This broadcast of Claudia was supervised and directed by William Brown Maloney.
June 17th, 1948, Claudia here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with us. Thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows me to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite station. If you miss a day, don't worry, you won't miss a show. They're available online through Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Amazon, to search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. And, of course, at my webpage, classicradio.stream, where you can stream our shows, learn more about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can contact me, see our social media links, and you can also buy me a coffee. And I've talked about that, joked about that, getting me a Dr. Pepper. But seriously, we invest some of that Buy Me a Coffee money into finding new shows so that you can hear something special from the past of radio. And tell all your friends, would you please, the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.